Tested. Got it. You got it.
Testing. Testing. Ladies and gentlemen, would you start making your way up to the hearse? The following will be asked to act as pallbearers: Stephen Brenner, Julie Ruskowski, Abby Brenner, Haley Brenner, Lily Port, David Frischman, Jeffrey Frischman, Michael Frischman, and honorary pallbearer Jerry Frischman. Pallbearers, please come up to the hearse.
I got him.
Martin, turn.
gotta go.
You okay, Pop?
Has anybody not received their program yet? Anybody need a program?
There's plenty of room for everyone to gather underneath the tent. Please take advantage of the chairs.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a cell phone, please put it in the silent mode. After the service, there is a register book in the back that you can sign. The funeral service is going to be conducted by Rabbi Nancy Langston. We will be passing out hand warmers during the service as well.
I am truly honored to be officiating the service this afternoon for Sid. It would have been such a great privilege to have known him. I'm so grateful to his family for taking the time to share a lot of memories and to paint a picture of his incredible life. You all have been so blessed to have been a part of Sid's life. Thank you all for being here, both physically and remotely. Our hearts go out to Arlene, to Debbie and Stephen, to Julie and Jerry, to Abby, Haley, and Lily, to Jerry and Ruth, To all the family, thank you all so much for being here to lend your support and your love during this very difficult time for the family. We begin the service with the traditional act of Kriya. Were you all given, the direct mourners were given black ribbons? Okay. So, Lloyd is getting the black ribbons to pin on Arlene and Debbie and Julie. It is only direct mourners who, at this time, would either tear their clothing or, in a moment, I'll invite them to make a tear in this black ribbon. And it is only children who wear the ribbon over their heart on the left side. Arlene and others, if they were here, would wear the ribbon on the right side. The reason that children wear the ribbon over the heart is because there is no bond as unique and special as that between parent and child. We know everyone's hearts are torn as we say goodbye to Sydney. So I asked the three of you with the ribbon if you could just stand before making a tear, if you could just stand at your place. There are traditional Hebrew words that are said before you make this tear. And I asked the three of you, before you make the tear, Arlene, hold on a minute, if you can just repeat the words after me. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam Dayan Ha'emet. These words mean, praised are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, judge of truth. From the bottom of the ribbon up towards the circular button, you can tear the ribbon as little or as far as you would like. Sometimes it's harder to tear, especially when our hands are cold. You have a choice to wear this ribbon just today, the first week of mourning, or the period of what we call shloshim. So either just today, for a week, or for 30 days. You also have a choice to wear the ribbon. Lloyd might have a knife that he can help you. Oh, you got it? Okay, great. The three of you may be seated. If the three of you choose to wear this ribbon on the outside, either the week or the period of Shloshim, these 30 days, and people see you wearing this torn ribbon, hopefully they will understand that the torn black ribbon you are wearing means that you are in a period of mourning, and they will have compassion on you. We come to this sacred place drawn by the eternal ties that bind your souls to the soul of your beloved Sydney. In learning about him, I felt that this beautiful poem, whose author is unfortunately unknown, was quite fitting. It is entitled, A Life Well Lived. A life well lived is a precious gift of hope and strength and grace from someone who has made our world a brighter, better place. It's filled with moments sweet and sad, with smiles and sometimes tears, with friendships formed and good times shared, and laughter through the years. A life well lived is a legacy of joy and pride and pleasure, a living, lasting memory our grateful hearts will treasure. Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "What is success? To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, to find the best in others, to leave the world a bit better, whether by a loved child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is to have succeeded. Well, I think anyone that knew Sidney would agree that he succeeded big time in so many ways. And that's why it's so difficult to say goodbye. We're never fully prepared to lose somebody that we love. We want more time together. So at times such as this, we look for comfort. And we often find that when we turn to the book of Psalms, Psalm 121. Bless I will lift up mine eyes unto the mountains. From whence shall my help come? My help cometh from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. I invite you to turn to your service folders where you find another psalm, the 23rd Psalm, a psalm that I think speaks to all of us, regardless of our faith or tradition. I believe we have extra copies of the service folders. If you are in need of one, you can wave your hand and someone will bring it to you. I think you all have. I'd like to invite all of you here and those joining us remotely, if you know the words, to join us as well, as together we say the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He guideth me in straight paths for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. In meeting with Sid's family, it was very clear to me how much his family adored him. Another beautiful poem whose author is unknown speaks to the gift it is, probably one of the greatest gifts we can ever have, and that is the gift of family. The name of this poem is The Greatest Gift. One of the greatest gifts that life can give to anyone is the very special love that families share. As years go by, it's good to know that there will always be certain people in our lives who care. For there are countless things that only families have in common, and memories that no one else can make. And these precious ties that bind a family together are bonds that time and distance cannot break. How fortunate we are when we have relatives to love us. It makes the world a happy place to be. Few gifts in life will last as long or touch the heart as deeply as the very special gift of family. To speak about the love for their papa. And it's my honor to call upon Abby, Haley, and Lily. Papa was always thinking of his family, whether it was just buying us all toilet paper or planning out our Hanukkah gifts. He was always listening to everyone and always planning ways to help us. He even loved putting things together for us and remembered everything that we said. I said that I loved Keith Haring, the artist, and he spent time making me a set of framed pictures that he printed himself that he loved from Keith Haring. When I joined the Jewish youth group DDYO, he was very proud because he was also in DDYO when he was a teenager. And he was president of the whole Chicago region, and I was president of my chapter. And he gave me his pin and his ring and his jacket. He was quiet, but always had a perfectly timed joke and moments of honesty. Even when the pandemic started, reach out to Haley, Lily, and I. He didn't even have a cell phone, but he used my grandma's phone to make a group text with with all of us. And he texted us saying, or he named it Papa's Three Meidlas, which is an endearing term for girls in Yiddish. And he said, "Good morning, my three Meidlas. If Joe Biden can email or text his grandchildren every day, so I will try." This is my inaugural message. And he would always then text us every so often to see how work was or school for Haley and Lily, and ask us what we were doing during COVID to stay busy and let us know that him and Grandma were doing well. And he even made one of those emojis that looked like him, which was pretty tech savvy. He was so proud of us and would go to every one of our events that he could and supported us endlessly. He loved us all so much, and he was proud to be Papa. There were so many fond memories, in addition to what we just heard, that were shared about Sid that I have the honor of sharing with all of you. Like each of us, we all have our own unique life, and truly, Sid was one of a kind. He was the loving son of Frank and Ada. I love this story. It's quite unique in that his parents could not decide or agree upon what to name him. So literally on his birth certificate for several months, I understand, there was no name. And they would just call him Stinky, like Stinky, right? And then they finally chose Sidney. He was a loving brother of the late Larry. And they were quite close. Larry, being the oldest, would watch over Sid as their father died when they were quite young. Sid was about 4 years old. Larry and Sid remained close for the rest of Larry's life. There were many adjectives used to describe Sid, and in no particular order. these are the ones that I think stood out. He was quiet, supportive, funny, brutally honest, frugal, adventurous, thoughtful, fun, and loving. He was the behind the scenes kind of guy. His words were often spoken through Arlene. For 56 years, Arlene and Sid drank from the cup of life, and they were blessed with wonderful daughters, Debbie and Julie, and their chosen ones, Stephen and Jerry. So much love for all of them. And he was so proud of his granddaughters. He adored Abby, Haley, and Lily so much. The day you were born, each one of you, he opened up an account so that there would be money enough to provide for each of you to have a college education. He was always there to support you in everything that you did, and so truly interested in all that you did. Sid attended the University of Illinois studying history and sociology. And for 20 years, he worked for Sears with the management training program. And 20 years, he had a print shop. He enjoyed working. He was a great listener. He sat quietly and took everything in. He was that take charge kind of person, always thinking ahead, very organized and methodical. For 25 years, he was the zone commissioner in Niles, and then on the advisory board for the Buffalo Grove Park District. He loved antiques, collecting them, buying them, and enjoying them. He loved shopping with Arlene. He had such great interest in art, loved going to the theater and ushering at the theater as well. He loved klezmer music. He enjoyed playing bridge and Scrabble and canasta and kaluki and spades, and he was good at all the card games. And boy, did he know how to have fun. He was, I think, very special in the way you described how he could take simple experiences and turn them into really great adventures. He had this orange and camouflage hat, which when he turned it inside out, you all knew he was going to tell a story. He was a wonderful storyteller, and he had a fabulous sense of humor, which I'm told was sometimes off color. He had a collection of goofy hats, and he even dyed his hair purple. You have a video of him filleting a turkey, and he was trying to sound like Julia Childs. This must be hilarious. I think everyone has to see this video. He had a CB handle, which was Bald Eagle, and he made those road trips lots of fun. And there were plenty of road trips when the girls were young. They went to the Wisconsin Dells, and they went to a dude ranch. Many travels went to the rock mines, to New York, to Decatur. Not all of these were road trips, obviously, to Mexico, Acapulco, and many winters in Florida and cruises. How fortunate he was to be able to travel with those he loved. You remember how he made popcorn in a pot. So I'm going to demonstrate, like, with his fingers, like I can't do it as well as you did, as I saw on Zoom, but you'll never forget that. And in fact, if you decide to not make the microwave popcorn and you make popcorn in a pot, you'll think of him, I'm sure, each time. You laughed about how he had 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 VCRs all over the house. Back in the day, some of the kids don't even know what's a VCR. He would take the TV guide and he would go through each and every day, circle the ones of the shows he wanted to record, and there were tons of them, I understand. And then you could all be able to be sure to watch your videos, and there was no problem to be able to find your videos. because he would label everything so methodically. It was all organized. Unlike most of us, his basement with Arlene was like a mini store. You needed something, you didn't need to go to Target or wherever. You could just go down to their basement. And in fact, his family members, when was the last time you said you bought a roll of toilet paper or paper towels? You didn't need to, because anytime you would leave the house, you were sure to take some toilet paper or paper towels or whatever else you might have needed. He was a wonderful provider for his family. He loved his family above and beyond. He provided for his neighbors too. You recall how back in the day when the Cabbage Patch towels were really first becoming very, very popular, he bought a ton of them and then sold them at cost to everyone in the neighborhood so that everyone could have them. He loved to dance, and he even won several dance contests when he was young. He enjoyed reading the newspaper every single day, and he also enjoyed reading nonfiction books. He had strong opinions, perhaps about many different topics, but he kept his opinions to himself, unless you asked. And if you asked, be prepared to listen. He shared. He loved coupons, and he loved Menards rebates. And isn't it great that we can laugh about all these wonderful things and how much he loved the Chicago Cubs and how they finally won the World Series. Oh my goodness. That made him very happy. We know that none of us are going to live forever. We do believe in the Jewish faith that our spirit, our soul, can live on forever. And the way that that happens is by all of us who are still here continue to speak about Sid, share the stories, document them. I always say, even on a piece of paper, this isn't going to go out of style. This technology piece of paper, I don't think is going to be replaced by something like today's technology is often getting replaced. So find different ways to record and document your stories. You have so many of them, so that when the granddaughters, one day, God willing, have children of their own, they will know about your papa and what a remarkable man he was. He had great values and wonderful instincts. He brought so much joy. You'll remember, as you just recalled the Hanukkah not that long ago with him, even this past Hanukkah, making potato latkes. He made them every year. You'll always think of him at Thanksgiving with the filleting of the turkey. Arlene, you were blessed with such a wonderful, loving husband, the best. And he was equally blessed to have you. It was clear in your sharing how much you adored him and loved him, and how fortunate you are to have your children, your sons-in-law, your granddaughters, the rest of your relatives and friends, so many who will support you in the weeks and months ahead. I truly believe that Sid will remain in everyone's hearts. Zecher, Tzaddik, Livracha, the memory of the righteous is forever a blessing. The dust returns to the earth as it was. The spirit returns to God who gave it. It is only the house of the spirit, which we will now lay within the earth. The spirit itself cannot die. Receive in mercy, O God, the soul of our departed, Sid Mitchell. Sid's casket is being lowered into the grave, I share with you this beautiful poem written by David Harkins. You can shed tears that he is gone, or you can smile because he lived. You can close your eyes and pray that he will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that he has left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see him, or you can be full of the love that you shared. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember him and only that he is gone, or you can cherish his memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back. Or you could do what he would want. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. My friends, if you are able to rise for the concluding prayers, which you find in your service folders, I invite you to please rise for El Maleh Rachamim and the Mourner's Kaddish. Compassionate God, eternal spirit of the universe, grant perfect rest in your sheltering presence to Sydney Joel Mitchell, who has entered eternity. O God of mercy, let him find refuge in your eternal presence, and let his soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. God is his inheritance. May he rest in peace, and let us all say, Amen. The final prayer is the Mourner's Kaddish. It is said that the angels brought his prayer down from heaven. It possesses wonderful power. Truly, if there is any bond strong enough to link heaven to earth, it is this prayer. Many believe it speaks about death, as we always recite it at the time of death, or the yahrzeit, the anniversary of one's death. But actually, there is no reference to death. Rather, we affirm God's glory and omnipotence. It will be my honor to include Sydney's name this evening for our virtual Shabbat service. For those who would like to attend and would like to receive the Zoom link, you can let me know. Our service is virtual at 7:30 this evening. I invite you now to turn to your service folders as together we join in exalting God's name with these traditional words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'yalma divrach chiroteh v'yamlich malchuteh v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imeru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lomei almayah. Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran ba'alma v'imeru. Amen. Yehei shalama rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'broma u'ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. May the author of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all the bereaved among us. And let us all say, Amen. We have here some holy earth from the Mount Olives in Jerusalem, Israel. So for those of us who won't be buried in Israel, we bring a little Israel here. And I'll have, how about just you in the front row? That makes sense. We don't have enough holy earth for everyone. We'll start with the holy earth. Very carefully. After they finish the holy earth, I will invite them as well as all of you who are here to participate in what is considered the greatest mitzvah, good deed of all. And that is to participate in the burial. The tradition is that we do 3 shovels of earth or 3 handfuls of earth. The important thing is 3, and there are different theories on why we do 3. We have 2 small buckets here of earth with a small shovel in each of these buckets. The important thing is we never pass the shovel. When you're done with your shoveling or handfuls, if you're using the shovel, you could choose to turn the shovel upside down, making it more difficult to shovel, which is symbolic. Doesn't matter how much work you get on the shovel, which way you shovel. The important thing is to not pass the shovel. So when you come forward, please make sure you slowly and carefully get on knees. I see in some spots. The theory that I like most about 3 is that when we do an act, hopefully there's meaning
Tirar, pega, levantar la bomba.
Muy bien, bien.